K-Water is a public company specialized in water resources management. We provide various international water education programs for the developing countries to solve water-related issues all around the world. Today, we will explain how the legislation on water quality management and monitoring works in Korea. There are basic terms we need to know in water treatment process. Raw water is the raw material used to produce domestic or industrial water. Water sources refer to rivers, reservoirs, groundwater and seawater in areas where water intake facilities are installed. Treated water refers to water supply through pipelines for domestic or industrial use. Domestic water quality is being managed at the level of drinking water in Korea. All facilities from water intake to distribution to supply water are called water supply facilities. Now that we have learned the terminology, we will also look at the water purification plant. A water purification plant is a water supply facility that clarifies raw water from a water source. It then undergoes appropriate treatment according to usage, such as domestic and industrial purposes. Treated water is supplied to consumers via pipelines and distribution system. So, what does the water treatment process consist of? Various unit processes can be used for water treatment. But in Korea, conventional processes based on filtration and disinfection are mainly used. Sometimes these can be called as a standard process. This is a process that produces a large amount of water in a short time through a complex process. It is combined with chemical precipitation, filtration, and disinfection process. In the mixing basin and the coagulation and flocculation basin, coagulant is injected into raw water and agitated. Then physico-chemical and electrical reactions take place, allowing fine colloids in the water to grow into larger particles and settle. In the sedimentation basin, the grown particles settle via gravity and separate from the water. Fine particles and microorganisms that are not settled are filtered and removed through the media. Finally, disinfectant is injected to the filtered water and then supplied to the household through a pipeline. So far, we have looked at the basic water treatment process. In the second chapter, we will aim at understanding the laws and regulations pertaining to operational processes of water treatment. In addition to the Drinking Water Management Law, Water Supply Law, and Water Source Management Law, we will consider in detail of the drinking water quality standards and inspection rules, and water quality-related laws. There are 3 laws related to water supply and water quality management in Korea. The first is the Drinking Water Management Act, which regulates that all water supplied through the pipeline must be managed to a level suitable for drinking. Specifically, water quality standards and investigation methods are prescribed in this act. The second is the Water Supply and Water Works Installation Act. It comprehensively describes the installation standards and tariff system, qualification requirements for water supply facility operators, and maintenance. The last is the Raw Water Resource Conservation Rule. In order to keep the quality of raw water clean for the production of drinking water, a certain area from the intake point is designated as a protected area. When designated as a water source protection zone, installation of facilities that may cause water pollution, such as factories or commercial facilities, are prohibited. We will explain the monitoring regulations related to raw water and water resources. Surface water and groundwater are generally used as water sources in Korea. Raw water quality monitoring is conducted monthly and quarterly. The monthly items are 5, including biological oxygen demand and suspended solid. The quarterly investigation is done for 25 items, focused on heavy metals and pesticide ingredients. Groundwater has better water quality than surface water, so 19 items are required to be tested. In this chapter, we will conduct a class to help in the understanding of the standards of drinking water quality in Korea. In this chapter, we will introduce in detail the meaning of water quality standards for drinking water and the status of strengthening water quality standards. The Ministry of Environment stipulates all matters related to water quality standards. Korea's water quality standards are constantly being strengthened as water pollution intensifies. In addition, trace pollutants are continually investigated through long-term national monitoring. Some of them are designated as preliminary parameters to conduct intensive monitoring. Substances are classified into 5 groups: microorganisms, hazardous inorganic substances, hazardous organic substances, disinfectants, disinfection byproducts, compounds that affect the aesthetics. In each group, 4 microorganisms, 13 harmful inorganics, 17 harmful organics, 11 disinfectants and disinfection byproducts, and 16 substances affecting aesthetics are set as water quality standard parameters. Then, let's look at the process of how to establish drinking water quality standards in Korea. First, contaminant candidates are listed every 5 years. Then the items that need to be annually monitored are selected. The raw and treated water in the water purification plant are monitored for up to 3 years. Based on these results and depending on the risk, it is classified as a new water quality after consulting with the Drinking Water Advisory Committee. In order to introduce new water quality standards, long-term monitoring, risk assessment, and elimination from water treatment must be comprehensively evaluated and determined. Water quality standards were first established in 1963 and revised 19 times until 2019. They are constantly being strengthened in terms of regulations. As of 2019, you can download the drinking water quality standards of major countries, including Korea. Next, let's look at how to calculate the maximum allowable value for each drinking water quality parameter. Suppose a person weighing 60 kilograms drinks 2 liters of tap water daily. The maximum allowable concentration of the water quality standard is determined by comprehensively referring to WHO guidelines. However, since water quality standards are based on chronic toxicity, temporarily exceeding the standards does not have a significant effect on health. Water quality standards should be used as an indicator for taking measures, such as checking whether water treatment process is working appropriately. Today, we have learned about water quality management regulation and drinking water quality standards in Korea. Thank you.